Hey guys, well, first of all, my name is Aaron First Class Mason. I'm in the United States Air Force, from Michigan, got stationed in Robbins, Georgia, so I will be in the Atlanta area very, very soon, and I'm pumped. Anyway, you guys asked me some questions on Tumblr, and I should probably get to them. Someone asked me about the ASVAB and what it is. Asked me about the initial process of getting into the Air Force, MEPS, things like that. The ASVAB is basically an aptitude test to see what you'd be good at. It's a career field test, so that, okay, the people who score it can see, alright, he or she is not going to be good at construction, he or she is not good at English, blah, blah, blah. I would highly recommend studying, highly recommend studying, because the higher score you get, the better jobs you get, and the better jobs you get equals more money. That's right. And who doesn't like money? I do. So, you asked what my score was. On my practice one, I got a 58, and on my actual one, I got a 72. Now, you need at least a 50 to even be eligible to enter the Air Force. So if you get a 58 on your practice one like I did, don't worry, because the practice one is harder than the actual one. And there are books that you can use, ASVAB for Dummies, things like that, to study for this test. The initial process, obviously, the first thing you need to do is contact a recruiter so they can get the ball rolling and get you sworn in and get you the heck out of here. Get you to Lackland. What is MEPS like? MEPS is a 2-day process, but the first day is really insignificant because all you do is eat and sleep. The second day is the one that actually really counts, because that's when you actually go to the MEPS and you get checked out. They check your medical history a little bit. Well, they don't really check it. You just have to fill out a bunch of papers saying what is and what's not wrong with you. There's a couple other things you have to do, like you get your blood drawn, and they check your blood pressure, vision, height and weight, stuff like that. And then after you're done processing, that's when you swear into the DEP, the Delayed Entry or Delayed Enlistment Program. And your family can go to this ceremony. They can go and take pictures and just be with you and share that experience with you, if you choose. Which leads me to my next question: ship dates and jobs. When you go to the MEPS, there's a duration of time, and you meet with your branch's advisor at the MEPS, and you pick jobs. There's just lists and lists of jobs that you could pick based on your ASVAB score, and you pick up to 5 or 6. I think I picked 5. And then what they do is they give you a contract, and that's your enlistment contract, and that'll tell you what day you're shipping out for basic. Usually, if it doesn't, call your recruiter, and they will know. They will be able to tell you. And then once a job becomes available that you chose, they'll give your recruiter a call and say, hey, this job's open. Your recruiter will call you or get in contact with you, and they'll basically offer you the job. Now, do you have to take the first job that you've been offered? No, you don't have to, but if you really want to be in the military that bad, you probably should just take it, and then you can just cross-train. But no, you don't have to take the first job that's offered to you. When you're in the DEP program, what do you do? It depends on your recruiter, honestly, because in some DEPs, Like I know in mine, we really focused heavily on learning our ranks and our insignias and our songs and creeds, reporting statements, stuff like that. They basically teach you they give you a baseline of everything you need to know going into basic training, because you don't know anything that's going to happen. But they try to help you out as much as they can. Some deps do PT. My dep did PT sometimes, which is fun. Sometimes you might just run. Other times you might go play basketball or dodgeball with another dep or something. Sometimes we went to Pizza Hut a lot, which was pretty kick-ass, but it depends on your recruiter. Height and weight requirements. It depends on your gender and how old you are. I mean, depending on the MEPS and depending on the doctor, you could swear in if you're 1 pound over, you could swear in if you're 10 pounds over. You could swear in if you're 1 pound under, you can swear in if you're 10 pounds under. It really just depends on what they're feeling. And obviously you will be expected to lose that weight, and then when you go to MEPS the second time, when you actually ship out to basic, that's when they'll be like, okay, you know, if you're a pound over, they'll usually let you go because you're going to lose weight in basic anyway. Because you don't get time to eat and you're working out 6 days a week and you're constantly moving every day, all day, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. So you will lose weight in basic, period. Someone asked, should we bring cell phones to BMT? Yes, bring your cell phone. Because your instructor is required to let you use your cell phone for a minimum of 15 minutes, a minimum of 1 time a week. So bring your cell phone. Even if you just have like a crappy little pay-as-you-go phone, bring that so you don't, you know, ruin your other phone or someone steals it. If you're really worried about that, bring a crappy phone and you'll just have that to call people on. But yes, bring a cell phone. I almost didn't, and I'm really glad I did, because that's what gets you through the week. You get to call your family. What kind of shoes should you wear to basic? Running shoes. That's all I can tell you. They don't have to be new. They don't have to be fancy. You don't have to have, you know, the newest Nikes that come out. If you have an old crappy pair of running shoes that works for you and they're comfortable, you've been working out in them for years and years, they're in decent shape, you know, bring those. You don't have to buy the $70 Asics that they encourage you to buy in basic. You don't have to. Some instructors might make you, but you do not have to. So yeah, just any comfortable pair of running shoes that you can work out in. What is basic like for females as opposed to males? It's the exact same. There's not a special basic training program for females. We train all day, every day, just like the males. I had a brother flight, and we were with them every day for everything, doing the same stuff. Some female flights might have a sister flight. I don't know. I wish I had a sister flight. That'd be cool. But my brother flight was pretty cool. You will get looked at differently by some of the old school instructors, just because we are females. Not looked at as less necessarily, but just differently. Because we are, you know, out of that less than 1% of the population, we're we don't make up that much of the military. So we will be looked at differently. And I don't want to say it's going to be more of a stressor on you, because they will treat you not as a male, but they're going to treat you like a trainee, just like they're going to treat males like trainees. It's all a mind game. It really is. It's all a mind game. And they do the same thing in male flights, because they need to separate the weak-hearted from the people who really need to be there. So it's not any different. It depends on the person. What is an AFSC? An AFSC stands for Air Force Specialty Code. It's the Air Force equivalent to an MOS. and it is your job. My AFSC, I'm a 4 Alpha, 4 AO, patient admin. I work in a clinic, and I sit at a desk. It's nothing too spectacular, but your AFSC is your job. What is tech school like? Tech school is like the Air Force version of college. And some tech schools, like I was at an Army base for mine. It was a joint base, so I had Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and foreign military personnel at my base. So that is a really good opportunity to like branch out to your brother and sister branches. Get to know like, well, what's this branch like? What's this branch like? How do they do things? Like, it was just Air Force and Army in my class, but even looking at how the Army does some things, every branch is different, and I didn't realize just how different we were until I got to tech school, and I'm so glad that I had Army in my class, because it's an eye-opener, especially after you've been on lockdown for 2 months, and you get to go out and wear civilian clothes. Like, it's kind of a shocker, but tech school is fun, so enjoy it. But yeah, it's like college. You live in a dorm, you have a roommate, you still have to go to formation, you still have to go to PT, but other than that, there's no one yelling at you, there's no one really pushing you to do anything as long as you take care of what you need to take care of. And then the last question is relationships in the military, specifically BMT. I got into a relationship a week before I left for basic, and I definitely do not regret it at all, because that was, along with my family, like that person, that was my rock, and they were just as strong as I was, because they had to be, because you're gonna need to lean on them to get through basic. That's just how it is. If you're in a serious relationship and you're thinking about going, don't break up. Just really don't. Especially if you're at like the point of, okay, it's time to get married, don't break up. Just stick it out. It's 2 months of your relationship. Really, it's 2 months of your life. And if you're really that worried about getting separated from them, just get married. Get married before you leave, or get married when you graduate from basic. Get married that weekend. And then they'll just go with you to your station, your first duty station, or join the reserves, be a guardsman. I don't know. But it's not a bad idea to stay in your relationship if you're in one going to basic. Starting relationships during basic, like I know a couple people have. I wouldn't do it, but if you do it, more power to you. It's you go, girl, you go, boy, do what you want. If it's gonna work out, it's gonna work out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Now, when I start a relationship in tech school, probably not. Especially if you're not gonna be there for a long time. What's the point? Really, what's the point? There isn't one. But that's all I got. That's all the questions you guys asked me. If you have any more questions, feel free to get at my Tumblr, pick my brain. If I don't know the answer to a question, like I said, I went to tech school, so I know I have TDY friends, senior master sergeants, tech sergeants, senior airmen. If I don't know the answer to something, I will find it, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. So keep the questions coming. I will continue to answer them.